welcome back to my channel, Tiger Chicks Resin Jungle. Today I decided that I would do these two cute little bear molds that I just got off of Amazon. They're not too small. They fit nicely in the palm of your hand. And I have two of them, so I figured I'd do a boy and a girl. And I am going to do them in this apricot color here. I'll do the little girl. And then I'm going to do this bright green mica powder. And I'm going to do the little boy. I thought they'd go good together, this apricot and green color. So, what I need to do is I need to mix up my resin, and I'm going to use my Let's Resin epoxy deep pour, because these guys are a little deep, a couple of inches, and they're really thin molds. So I don't want it to heat up too much, so it's going to take a couple of days for these guys to cure. But then once they're cured, we'll be back and we'll get to see what they look like. Alright, so I'm going to go mix up my resin, and then I will be back.
Okay, so I've sped this up and I'm starting to mix my apricot resin for my little girl. And nobody really wants to watch this in real time, so I've sped up the video so that we can watch me mix it in quick time. Okay, so I'm done mixing, and this time around I threw a little music in for you guys. I'm getting ready to pour my little girl, and I'm going to pour her in little increments first to try and make sure I get rid of as many bubbles as I possibly can. So I poured in a little bit, and sorry I'm a little out of frame. I'm still getting used to videoing, so it looked like it was in frame to me, but apparently it was not in frame for you. So I've poured in a little bit more, and I'm doing a little squishy because I want to make sure I get everything coated. I want to make sure that there's no bubbles in her when she's done. So I'm squishing her little face, I've squished her little ears, I add a little bit more. I do a little bit more squishy, which coats the inside of the mold. I don't know if that helps with the bubbles or not. This was a deep pour resin, so it takes 2 days to cure, which does help the bubbles escape. So you have a lot less bubbles with your deep pours. I'm still, really new to making YouTube videos and doing a lot of resin. So I'm learning as I go, and I hope you guys are enjoying my resin journey. Thank you all for coming. I want to make sure that I welcome any new channel subscribers, and thank all of my existing channel subscribers. And I did run out of a little bit of resin. I didn't quite have enough to fill her. These are the first times I was doing the mold, so I had no clue how much resin she takes. So I just poured what I thought was a good amount of resin, and then realized, okay, I'm just a smidge short. So I had to mix up another little bit of the apricot resin. But since I'm learning how to do all this stuff and learning how to edit videos, I added you guys in a little bit of music just before this so that you guys had a little bit of music. And now I'm mixing up that little extra bit of resin. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to move on to the little boy. This is quite a learning experience, and I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying my journey. There's a little bit of alcohol just to try and get any of those top bubbles out before I add the little bit of extra resin that I'm mixing up. I'm not quite sure what my next project will be. I was talking to one of my friends earlier, and she was like, "Oh, what's your next project going to be?" And I was like, "I don't know." I'm now done with the little girl, so I can move on to the little boy. I'm just going to clean up my work area a little bit so that I'm not making a big mess. There's my little boy. Going to give a quick stir to his resin. I'm going to do a little spritz in him with the alcohol to try and get any bubbles that may be at the bottom when I pour this in. And I'm going to pour in a little bit for the boy. And again, I'm going to do the squishy squishies to try and make sure I get out, as many bubbles as I can. Make sure everything gets coated well. So squishy squishy. And as you can see, when I do that, it kind of coats the inside of the mold. So a little bit more squishy squishies. Make sure I get his nose and his ears really well. And then I'm going to fill him up some more. So I was just at the beach over the weekend. And I was thinking, I'm going to be going back to the beach next week. And I was thinking I should collect some actual beach stuff to add to some of my molds. I did get a sea turtle mold recently that I have yet to pour. And I was thinking when I was at the beach, oh, hey, maybe I could pick up some beach pebbles or maybe find some seashells that I can incorporate into the sea turtle. So we'll see what I find, and maybe that's what I'll do for my next project. Or maybe I'll do something completely different. I don't know until I go downstairs and start digging through my drawers of molds. Because as I said before, I think I have a mold problem. Some people have shoe problems. I have mold problems. I can't stop buying them. I did just buy earlier this week, which just came in, some of the Let's Resin Cabochon molds. Because I want to try those. The little boy is now done. I have a lot of extra resin left, so I did some pink and blue butterflies. Actually, apricot and blue butterflies. And I'm going to do a few other things here to use up my excess resin because I don't want to waste it. But I've got a bunch of clear resin that wasn't mixed, and I had some of the apricot resin left. I have some of the green resin left, so I'm just adding a little bit of the clear resin that I had left to them, and I'm going to add a little bit more color, and I'm going to mix them up, and I'm going to pour them into the snail mold. Again, I don't know why I seem to have a resin snail army. This is the beginning of my my tiny army. So here I go. I've put a little bit of green in his head, and I'm using one of my micro brushes, which you couldn't see very well, to just kind of go in and poke into his antennas and his eyes. And then I filled him up. And then I was like, okay, I've still got extra. So let's try doing some of these little thinner molds. And I thought these wings would look kind of cool if I could kind of blend them together with some of the colors. So I poured in a little bit of the green, a little bit of the apricot, poured in a little bit more green, a little bit more apricot, and just tried to fill up the wings. I don't know what I'll use them on, but maybe I'll make another pair of bears and attach the wings to the bears and make fairy bears. I don't know. I just figured, let's give them a try. And I've got my little micro brush again that I was going to use to try and maybe pull it out into those little tendril type things that are on the ends of the wings. Because I want to make sure that they get completely filled. So I'm adding a little bit more pink, or peach rather, apricot color. Really would be good if I could keep my colors straight. But it's definitely an apricot, and that was a green, and I actually thought they were kind of cool together. but I didn't realize when you mix them what they turn into. So you'll get to see that at the end. That was a bit of a surprise. So now I'm doing these like angel wings, and again I'm just pouring a little bit of peach in, and a little bit, well, apricot technically, and a little bit more of the green, and they actually ended up being a little too full because those wings are very, very thin. So I just decided to take my popsicle stick and just swipe over the top of it and just push it into the other part of the mold that you can't see because it's off screen, but there's a couple little faces down there. So I just took the extra resin that were in the wings and just scraped over it and poured it into the faces, and then added a little bit more to the faces that you can't see. So I think I'm done with that one, and I'm now just trying to make sure I pick it up and make sure I don't spill it everywhere because the wings are pretty full and I don't want them to leak everywhere. So this is the one where you will see later that I poured the two colors in. I poured the green and I poured the apricot, and when they mix together, they don't look the same as they did when I poured them. Who knew? Something I learned. But, you know, I didn't mind it. It still comes out looking pretty neat. So, I'm going to fill up these couple extra little molds, and then we're going to get to the demolding, and you'll get to see the finished products. And at the end, I'll have some pictures of the completed project, because I did with the little boy and girl bears. I did do some video of me detailing their faces, but I didn't do video of the complete detail of their faces. So you'll get to see the final result, but you only get to see the very beginning of what I did for detailing. And then you'll get to see in the final pictures, you know, the complete detail. So again, learning process, and I'm trying to get better. And each time I do a new video, I learn something new, which is actually kind of interesting and cool. So, I'm just taking my little micro brush and I'm going around the edge of the pad because I want to make sure that there are no bubbles stuck there. And now I'm going to pour my peach in and fill up the rest of the paw. Okay, so I'm almost done filling up my paw, and then I still had some extra resin, so I did throw in some additional color into the rest of the resin, and I made a few more other little molds that I didn't put on screen. I just filled them up, and you'll see them here when I'm done with my paw.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. Alright, so the other day I did my bears, which we have over here. Our bears. I did a snail, and I've got a little paw print. I had extra resin, so I filled a bunch of stuff up. So I made a couple of these little butterflies, which I'm going to throw into my butterfly cup, and now I've got an assortment of butterflies, all different colors. Aren't they cute? And then I did a few other little things. Let's see, we've got a face. Oh, look at that face. Isn't it cute? Alright, we'll have to figure out where to put that. I got another face here. Kind of cool. I haven't done this mold yet. Let's see, we've got some wings. Wow, these are super thin.
Look at that thinness. I didn't think they'd be that thin, but wow, they're thin, but they're cool. I mean, I should have thought it would have been this thin because it's not a very deep mold. I mean, if you look, there's hardly any ridge to it. So they're super thin. All right, now we've got 2 wings. So I've got 2 angel wings in a green kind of shimmery color. And I've got these, not sure what these are, fairy wings maybe? I figured these might be cool to put on something. Of course, if I can get it out of here without breaking it, that'll be impressive. All right, getting there. Ooh. Ooh. Look at that. That's pretty cool looking. I like it. All right, now for the other side. Try and get this out of here. Oh, there we go. Again, they're not super deep. These are really thin molds. And ooh, we got this side now. So now I could put them on something like this. Wouldn't that look cool? Maybe I could stick it on my bear. Or maybe something else. We'll see. Alright. Okay, I've got a hummingbird. I've made this one before, but I didn't do very well with its beak, so it came out not so great. But this time I got the beak pretty good. Ooh, look it. I don't know if you can see, but there's lines on here. I can draw the lines on maybe with a gold pen or a silver pen. I think gold would look good. Then you'll be able to see the outline of the bird. All right. So got that. I did this little heart mold. It's a keychain, I think. Just in a purple. Pretty nice. Okay. And we've got this paw print. See, paw print, I poured the green into the pads, and then I poured the peach on top of it, and it looks like it came out kind of a yellow color when you mix the two. I guess green and yellow make green and peach make yellow. Oh, but that's kind of cool looking. Neat. All right. Cool. Another keychain. I could put like a name or a picture or something here in the paw. All right. Then we got the snail. And if you remember from my last snail, which is over here, we missed his antenna. Hopefully this snail will come out better. It looks like the antennas are in the mold this time. And again, when you add peach and green together, apparently you get yellow. Let's see how he looks. I do love these little snail molds. I told you before I have a snail army. I guess I'm starting my miniature army now. Because I've got bigger snails, which I'll have to do one of those on the channel for you, so you guys can see what the bigger snails look like. I've done a couple of them. I did one with a glow-in-the-dark mica powder. I've done one with glow-in-the-dark rocks in it. Trying carefully to get this out of here. Oh, look at that. Pop him back in. Oh, isn't he pretty? And he's got all his antennas. I think these are actually eyes and these are antennas. Wow. He's pretty. I like him. I bet we could do the same gold that we did on this guy. On this one, I bet it would look similar or just as good. Oh, I love him. He's so cute. Oh, you're my new little cute guy. I like you so much. All right, now to the main attraction. We've got the boy and the girl. Let's see how these guys turned out. It's the first time making them, because I just got the molds the other day when I did the video. And this was a deep pour resin, so I did this on Saturday, And today is Monday. So I am demolding him today. Get that guy out of the way. Make sure we keep you over here so that you can see the demolding, which is interesting. But he looks pretty cool from what I can see. Alright, come on. Come on. I think I'm going to really like these little bear molds. They seem really cute. If I can just get it off his head. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright. Flip that mold back over. Right side in. Huh, there we go. Perfect. Alright, let's see how the little green guy goes. Ooh, he's cute. Look at his cuteness. Just look at his cuteness. Wait till I color his little face and his little pads on his feet and his little nose and his little mouth. Oh, he's gonna look so cute. I like him. Okay. Now on to the girl. Let's see how she looks now. She was a peach color. And apparently when you mix green and peach together, you get yellow, as we saw in the paw prints and stuff. But when you leave her peach as she is, she looks pretty good so far from what I can see. Do have a little trimming up to do here because it sank in a bit. So I'll have to trim that up, but that's okay. That's just extra pore that we should have cleaned up. Oops. Good Lord. Alrighty. Oh, don't want to pull that out hard. Come on, little guy. Well, girl, technically. Because you're peach. My biggest thing is I make these molds and I make these things, and so far I haven't had a ton that have come out great. And they've been okay, but I really want them to be spectacular. Oh, she's adorable. And neither of them have any bubbles. How cool is that? All right, look at that. They're so cute. Got a little girl and a little boy. All right, now let's see. I've got to paint their nose and their eyes and their mouth. I've got to trim up the bottom of her so I don't cut myself on her. He's got to be trimmed up too, and do his nose and his mouth. Then I got to figure out what color to paint their little feetsies. Let's see. Okay. So, I'm going to put you on pause for a moment, and I'm going to get some stuff, and we're going to make these guys some extra pretty. All right, I'll be back.
Okay, they're just about done. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.